Industry, agriculture, fisheries, and commerce. The way we behave has changed because of technological advancements. The nature of how science and technology relate to society is the development of new knowledge and then the application of that knowledge to improve human well-being and address societal issues. Society directs technology and scientific inquiry. Science teaches us about the types of innovations we might be able to build and how we might go about doing so. Now, let us talk about how science and technology has contributed to the development of industry, agriculture, fisheries, and commerce and its role to society. First, let us focus on industry. What do we mean by industry? An industry is any economic activity that involves the manufacture of products, the extraction of minerals, and the provision of services. Machines, equipments, and people help convert raw materials into finished goods in the factories that produce them. After that, the products are then sold on the market and bought by people. There are different kinds of industries. We have the iron and steel industry, mining industry, service industries such as tourism, finance, and information technology, and many more. In short, industry refers to every form of economic operations that aims to generate revenue. So, what is industrialization? The era of social and economic transition that transforms a human group from an agrarian society to an industrial society requiring substantial manufacturing reorganization of an economy is known as industrialization. Now, let's dive into the history of industry. Industry in the Philippines in the past was not yet efficient. The people were great agriculturists, and the islands, specifically Luzon, has great abundance of rice, fowls, wine, as well as great numbers of carabaos, deer, and wild boar and goats. Handicrafts are known in the Philippines especially for women because these are what most women do before. They do this even during their leisure times. Nevertheless, with the evolution of science and technology, the Philippines was able to greatly improve the productivity of its agricultural sector through the process of industrialization while also allowing the emergence of a manufacturing base specializing in high-tech equipment. Agriculture and handicrafts-based economies were transformed into economies based on large-scale industry, mechanized manufacturing, and the factory system during the Industrial Revolution. Established enterprises became more productive and competitive as a result of modern computers, new power sources, and new ways of organizing work. Industrialization allows for the most efficient use of limited capital in the Philippines. The manufacturing sector's output and quantity are improving. It boosts the economy's gross domestic product. When industrial output rises, government exports and revenues rise as well. As countries became more industrialized, factories grew in size and in production. In foreign trade, larger firms that were able to reach economies of scale fared better. Earlier types of work started to vanish. The Industrial Revolution saw a lot of good things happen to it. An increase in wealth, the production of goods, and the standard of living were among them. People had better diets, better accommodations, and low-cost products. Moreover, during the Industrial Revolution, education even increased. The world we live in now is technologically advanced. To increase productivity, all sectors of the economy are using available technology. Technology's significance in industrial growth cannot be understated in any way, as it plays a critical role in the development of industries. Here are some of the ways in which science and technology contributes to industrial development. 1. Greater discoveries. One of the reasons why science and technology is essential to industrial growth is that it encourages further discoveries. The success of an industrial development is dependent on discoveries. All of the discoveries made in today's world are solely due to technological advancements. Even when a person makes a breakthrough in any area, he or she must rely on technology to make the breakthrough possible. As a result, science and technology is crucial to industrial development because it encourages greater discoveries that will improve the various aspects required for growth. 2. It makes work easier. Science and technology has a significant impact on increasing production. This is accomplished by making jobs more convenient. Because of technological advancement, an industry can now run at a higher rate than before. This ensures that workers of a given sector are given technical training and are able to complete tasks more quickly. Lastly, it is cost effective. Any industrial growth, apart from improving the environment, is geared towards making profit. As a result, an industry can go to any length to reduce the production costs. Technological advancement allow businesses to save significant amount of money that could have been spent on simple tasks.
Next, we have agriculture. Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. It includes the preparation of plant and animal products for people to use and their distribution to markets. Agriculture is a huge part of the Philippines economy. Filipinos are heavily reliant on rice and other agricultural products. In effect, the agricultural sector is continuously improving. The industry is mostly reliant on manual labor. In the Philippines, especially in rural and far-flung areas, agriculture is mostly done by hand. Farming, to be specific, is perceived to be a poor man's job. This pushed the Department of Agriculture to improve the agricultural sector in the country with the hope of attracting Filipinos to invest and work any agricultural ventures. Some of the primitive and traditional farming methods in the Philippines include using carabao, which is still existing today, especially in far-flung areas. The agricultural sector is the most vulnerable to natural calamities. In 2016, the Philippines was the biggest rice importer in the world. Despite this, the fund for the agricultural sector in the Philippines has declined and is only 4% of the national budget. Some of the technological advancements in agriculture in the recent years are developed by Filipinos and some are adopted from foreign countries. For example, we have the F1 hybrid seeds, which refer to the cross-pollination of two different parent plants. The term is an abbreviation for Filial 1, which means first children. The corn production in the Caraga region mainly used the F1 hybrid seeds. The reasons are to ensure sustainable production in prime corn lands, to raise the average yields of corns per hectare, and to increase the income of marginal corn farmers in the region. Another example are advanced farming equipment such as the WR801 multifunction hand tractor, which has helped farmers increase their field productivity. This tractor can do the job of 10 people at once. The machine can perform weeding, double row tilling for fertilizer application, rotation, and furrow forming for cornfields and vegetable plots. Japanese-made drones are also utilized in Benguet towns to spray fertilizer on farms located on mountain slopes. This is intended to lessen the farmers' hours in the field. Moreover, there is a website called the Farmer's Guide Map, which was specifically designed to help farmers in crop planning. It assists farmers in identifying suitable crops to be planted on the farmers' lands. It also provides data on climate conditions and soil adaptability. Different applications have also been developed. For one, we have the Rice Crop Manager app, a web-based platform which provides recommendations to farmers in crop management based on their own farm conditions. Another is the AgriDoc app, which enables farmers to record their activities and monitor farm inputs, improve their farm tasking, and guide them in farm management. We also have the Crops app, which lets farmers market their own products at their own prices and help potential buyers find sources of farm products within their own area. Moving on, we have Fisheries.
The world is about 71% covered in water, and in that large amount of water in the world lives billions and billions of marine animals. Species vary from small to large fishes, clams, shellfish, jellyfish, reptiles, and other marine mammals. These waters also feed numbers of human beings around the world, with the love of people for seafood, pan-seared, fried, grilled, or even soup. There's also that famous sushi. And over the years, the demand of seafood kept on growing. Fishing had always been one of the main sources of food ever since the beginning of the hunting and gathering era. The Homo erectus and Homo sapiens used to catch fish by hand. Hunting in groups, they are able to form small communities. The more stomachs to feed, the more innovative they have become to catch more fish. Spears, nets, line, and rods started being used by Egyptians around 3500 BCE. Starting in the 15th century, deep-sea fishing was introduced. Today, bigger ships with cranes and bigger nets are used to catch billions of fish. It meant more power to pull fish from deep waters and also to combat large crashing waves. The Philippines is an archipelago, which means this country is made up of islands that are surrounded by bodies of water. In fact, it is one of the world's largest archipelago nations in the world. No wonder one of the country's means of living, ever since the prehistoric era, is fishing. Early Filipinos initially used their hands, then later on used spears and dived deep down the ocean to spearfish. Modernization came, and small boats became bigger fishing vessels. Like the Western countries, these commercial boats are larger in size, with cranes and bigger, thicker nets to catch more fish. Most fishermen from the Philippines still fish traditionally, using smaller boats and nets. Municipal boats, that's still made out of wood, prepped and coated with layers of sealant, are powered by motors. Aquaculture is also practiced in the Philippines, specifically fish farming. Fish ponds have been created to cultivate milkfish, catfish, mudfish, tilapia, shrimps, and crabs. In Pampanga, they have these 10,000 hectares of fish ponds, being the top producers of prawns, bangus, tilapia, oysters, and seaweeds that are being sold to neighboring towns, like Manastol. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources announced that the province of Pampanga is the top producers of shrimps in the entire country, contributing 39% to the total production of shrimps. As the price for meat and poultry products increase, seafood is a quick go-to for Filipinos to feed their families. This calls for another increase in the demand for aquatic resources. In 2019, production of fish reached 858,277 tons, and consumption at 2,053,681 tons. Even with the traditional fishing in the seas, rivers, and lakes, supply for fish is still not enough. Because the population is continuously growing, climate change affecting the population of marine animals, Filipinos needed to find ways to catch bigger amounts of fish. A contributor to the depletion of large amounts of fishes in the Philippines are the fishermen's destructive practices, such as overfishing, illegal fishing, and fish bombing that destroys the marine habitat. Different approaches were established, community and national based, but so far those attempts of identifying and protecting the targeted marine protected areas failed. Experts provided a possible solution to marine conservation and help the fishing communities. This involves computer software called mark zones. This enabled scientists to limit the bad effects in fishing communities, but to also protect the marine biodiversity. This systematic planning still has issues to address, but with the cooperation of the local communities, they might be able to regulate fishing and allow marine life in those areas time to recover.
Lastly, we have commerce. Commerce refers to the exchange of goods, services, or something of value between businesses or entities. Contrary to what most people think, commerce is not the same as business. Instead, it is a subset of a business. It concerns itself on the distribution aspect of the business rather than the production aspect, which encompasses a wide array of areas such as logistics, politics, regulatory, legal, social, and economic. But before anything else, let us take a look at how commerce has evolved throughout the history. Commerce started when people started trading thousands of years BC. Common method of trading then was called bartering. Barter is a system of exchange in which participants in a transaction directly exchange goods or services for other goods or services without using a medium of exchange, such as money. In the Philippines, Filipinos also practiced barter trade, locally and globally, even before the Spanish colonization. In fact, there are written accounts from China about its relations with the Philippines through trade. Commerce at this time was made possible by ships and their knowledge about navigation. One type of ship used by our ancestors for trading is called a balangay. Even then, commerce had always been about sacrificing what we have more to have more of what we have less. It is ultimately about meeting our needs and wants. When money was invented, it made trade and commerce simpler. It became more widespread. Even until now, thousands of years after being invented, money still plays a large role in our economy. Concepts of trade such as barter still lives on today, but money has become the most widely used medium of exchange. Science and commerce can be compared to a steering wheel and an engine, science being the steering wheel, while commerce is the engine. Science looks at what is ahead and guides commerce to where it should be, while commerce makes the effort to make things move. Now we know that there should be something that should connect the steering wheel and the engine, right? Between science and commerce, what connects them is technology. Let us take an example situation many of us have experienced: online shopping or e-commerce. Electronic commerce, commonly known as e-commerce, is trading in products or services conducted via computer networks. Let's trace the key elements that made online shopping or e-commerce possible, which are countless studies that led us to the invention of the internet, our gadgets, software, and apps. It is science, technology, and commerce in one. How does this impact our way of living? With these, consumers are able to access various tools to estimate prices, find stores, and even to obtain discount coupons. The most used in e-commerce industry is its mode of payment, where in most cases, payments are done digitally. It is convenient, that's why people are gradually adapting this payment process. For example, GCash. GCash is the first mover and the leading e-wallet in the Philippines with more than 20 million users as of June 2019, as it provides wide range of functionality. Another popular e-wallets are PayMaya, credit and debit cards, Coins.ph, PayPal, and many more. E-commerce industry has changed the process of business and cash transactions. Now, it has introduced a lot of new, modern, and useful factors by which customers enjoy easy and hassle-free shopping. Anybody can purchase at the tap of a button and receive the product at their doorstep. Thus, the consumers depend more on the e-commerce marketplace. Online marketing is a set of tools and methodologies used for promoting products and services through the internet. Online marketing includes a wider range of marketing elements than traditional business marketing due to the extra channels and marketing mechanisms available on the internet. The most common nowadays is to send a social media influencer a PR package, and in return, the influencer will post the products in their social media accounts. With this, businesses can offer a better customer experience with multiple fulfillment, drop shipping, easy returns, and improved customer service. It reduces costs as we only need fewer employees and less training. We can focus on more important aspects of the business that involve decision-making and strategies. It also helps increase sales and makes marketing easier with automated emails. However, there are also issues with regards to e-commerce. Given the lack of ability to inspect merchandise before purchase, consumers are at higher risk of fraud on the part of the merchant than in a physical store. Merchants are also at risk of fraudulent purchases using stolen credit cards or fraudulent repudiation of the online purchase. Also, there are chances of a phishing scam where consumers are fooled into thinking that they are dealing with a reputable retailer when they have actually been manipulated into feeding private information to a system operated by a malicious party. Lastly, privacy of personal information is a significant issue for some consumers, although different legal jurisdictions have different laws concerning consumer privacy. Electronic commerce enables more individuals to work at home and to do less traveling for shopping, resulting in less traffic on the roads and lower air pollution. It allows some merchandise to be sold at lower prices, so less affluent people can buy more and increase their standard of living. Electronic commerce enables people in third world countries and rural areas to enjoy products and services that are otherwise not available to them. It also facilitates delivery of public services such as healthcare, education, and distribution of government social services at a reduced cost or improved quality. Healthcare services, for example, can reach patients in rural areas. Basically, it has improved the way we shop and connect with others even from abroad. Throughout history, we have continuously been making attempts to survive and improve our ways of living. Science and technology are essential for any country's growth and development. In every society, technology plays a critical role in wealth creation, improving quality of life, and real economic development and transformation. In agriculture, agricultural technologies have brought a positive impact on the country's agricultural sector. The farmers have increased their productivity and efficiency with the help of science and technology. With this, the country must continue to support the agricultural sector in various ways, such as increasing the national budget, creating more programs for the farmers, and prioritizing local products. The commerce industry has also grown so much from adapting to scientific and technological advancements. Commerce has helped to improve our lives not just by helping us meet our needs and wants, but also by connecting societies and communities and strengthening relationships from all around the world. In return, in our desire to have what we need and want, we have been constantly studying, inventing, and innovating that we are reaching beyond what we thought of as our limits. However, as we do that, it is not only good things that happen. There are also societal issues nowadays that are caused by scientific and technological advancements. In fisheries, for example, instead of using bigger and more powerful vessels and crafting dynamites to catch more fishes for the community, science and technology should be harnessed to protect marine life for the sustainable future. We need to continue to research on more ways to establish and protect marine habitats, create policies to strengthen fishing regulations, and to support the fishing community's livelihood, enhance marine management, improve the quality of the waters, proper utilization of technological advancements for a successful pond-based hatcheries. Science and technology should be utilized not only for human desires, but ultimately for the world we live in.